I'm very honored to be here right now. Real quick story about myself and the team. I never thought I'd be doing a project like this. I was actually asked to do this by my capital partners that have backed us on 3 projects that we're doing here locally in DC that are each over $100 million. We look for entitlements, redevelopments, projects that are job creators. Mainly been focused on hotel, retail, and multifamily. I received a call from partners that were trying to do, I believe, a movement of the FBI, I think here. And they said that they had the University of Michigan, which I attended, that would be interested in coming to this campus, and said that there's this RFP and you should figure it out because you are a local DC resident, DC developer, you have a certified business entity, a CVE. I pushed back, said this isn't really for me. I think this is a little too big. They maintained trying to be persuasive, and then other partners stepped forward that were in home building like NVR, and construction like Plaza, and then local architects came to me and said this is something that we've been involved in the past and would like to be on your team. Our parking operator that employs hundreds of people in Washington, D.C. felt that there was a reason to be involved with this. But when I took a step back and I read the opportunity, I realized you needed tenants, you needed office users to come in here to make it work, and C.B. Richard Ellis stepped forward letting me know how they would like to get involved in the technology players that they had available for the space. And that then led me to go out to California to meet with and see a technology hub and meet with Lyft and understand they're looking to come to Washington, D.C., and we could use them as a prospective tenant. So when I started to put all those factors together with the slides, I realized, wow, we could actually really do something here, and this would be worth my time, and I could make a difference. I've got enough going on in my life where I wasn't so sure about it, but these people kept being behind me and said it made a lot of sense. What we bring to the table is we're backed by a couple billionaires that are infrastructure investors. They've done these projects locally, they've done these projects nationally. So we definitely have the money behind us. We have a local designer sitting to my right who's been working on and off this site for many years and has done a lot of projects in Washington, D.C. We have, as I said, we have a bunch of tenants. We have the understanding of how to do infrastructure development. We've done it in the past. And what really excites me also is that if we combine all these forces, next slide, if we combine all these forces, I think we get to a total of 7,000 jobs. And that'll be, real community development. The way we will go out and do our community development is very simple, is we will actually go out and we will source information from the ANCs, we will source information from the locals, and we will hire locally. We've done this in Adams Morgan, where we were the first to create a process where 51% of our employees are DC, and of that 51%, that 51% is in the actual ward. So we plan on trying to put those practices in place here. Next slide. This is a slide that I was looking for. So this is what kind of gets me excited, is the creation of 7,300 jobs. Being in the hotel business, what excites me about making investments in the deals is that we get more people working for us, we're creating more jobs, we're creating more money, we're creating more tax revenue. It's a win-win. The housing part is obviously very exciting. We know how to do that. We've built over 40,000 units. Retail perspective, we've got retailers, we've got people that want to go in here. We see retail more as curation, so we want to bring in a couple national players and mix that with local, so local can be sustained. Small business, obviously we would love to be an incubator for small business. I'm a small business myself, so we see this as a great opportunity. The pavilion, we have some ideas of how we could really do some creation there to create some more activities and make that a lot more fun, as well as the farming and stuff that's in our project. I have a whole plan for you on transportation. I want to make sure that everyone gets a chance here to talk, and I think we should really start to focus on the CBRE and then lead into construction and then in with our architect.
Thank you. Good evening, Ward 8. Thank you very much for having us. I'm Seth Bernard. I'm with CBRE. And before I tell you about CBRE and our expertise, I want to tell you a little bit about Seth. I'm actually born and raised in South Louisiana. I come from a very small community, to say the least. I feel a great responsibility to community. To prove that to you, I moved here in 2001. Within 18 months moving to Washington, D.C., I was on the board of the Boys and Girls Club. I have painted just about every club in D.C. on Saturdays, and I've participated in every barbecue battle for the last 13 years. Additionally, for the last 10 years, I've been on the board of Rachel's Women's Center. It's been a great experience. We're a day shelter for over 70 women, and we've been through some good times and some bad. I spent over 2.5 hours this morning, just myself, with 60 homeless women. And coming from where I'm from with my background, that's not something I ever anticipated. But I just want you to know that myself and CBRE care about the community. So let's talk a little bit about CBRE and our capabilities and our expertise. CBRE is the largest commercial real estate firm in the world. Some of the teams we have here locally, based in the DC office, are exactly who we talk about jobs. Everyone has some great ideas tonight. Beautiful design. Everyone's capable of development. But how are we going to lease these buildings? How are we going to finance these buildings? And that's what CBRE does. Let me read from my notes here a little bit so I can give you some specifics. So the initiative is to create a technology campus for everyone from startups to the largest technology companies in the world. And when we think technology, we think Microsoft, Google, Oracle. Well, we sit here in a region, in a city, with the Department of Homeland Security, the Pentagon, the United States Air Force, who all work with Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman. We can continue with the largest government contractors in the world, using the best technology in the world. All of the great technology offices, or companies have offices downtown, but most of them are working on government affairs. Let's work with the companies to create the technology locally and hire the people locally to create the jobs of this community. Attracting talent will be a key component to the success of this site. So we want to work with our local universities. The consortium of universities consisting of UDC, American University, University of Maryland, on and on. We know all the local and regional universities. They should have a presence in these sites. Can we actually go to the next slide? I'd like to actually see the site. So you see the buildings, and everybody will talk further about this that focus on residential, but the office buildings here in yellow, well, that's where the tech companies, the GSA, and the universities will come in to educate our young people. We can tell the people who are going to lease office space on this site exactly how many people they have to hire from the community, and we can work on that, but we have to get people to come here for this to be a success, and that's what CBRE can do for this site. Let me talk about a couple of our teams, and then I'm going to turn it over to Bill Hill from our Federal Lesser Advisory Group. So, for starters, our Federal Lesser Advisory Group, which is our flag team, they're based here in DC. They work not only with the federal government, but with some of the largest technology firms in the world on a consulting basis. Bill will go into further detail on that. We also have our PIES team, which is our Public Institutions and Education Solutions Group. They work with universities and local and national municipalities on projects just like this. And we have the best in the business at that. Next, we have a multifamily team. In DC and in the region, we have the most active multifamily team probably in the country, based right here in the DC office. And then we have our debt and equity structured finance team, who will help finance the project through our developer. And last but not least, there's me. I've worked for CBRE for almost 13 years now. work extremely hard from the ground up. I've built a team. We've done almost 1,000 transactions in the last 12 years. I'm extremely proud of it. CBRE is capable of finding the tenants to fill this site, to help this neighborhood and this community grow and excel for many years to come. And thank you for having us, and I'll turn it over to Bill.
Thanks, Seth. Seth and I work as partners on approximately 1 million square feet of space in D.C. Of that 1 million square feet, 90% is leased right now, most of which is leased to the federal government. I run the national practice team for CBRE, and what we do is we provide advisory and brokerage services to investors, to developers across the nation in connection with the acquisition and the lease administration of federal tenancy. Now, you folks here, everyone here, I mean, you know Authentic, and we have some great developers here. You know, what we do and what our team's approach is to tenant these developments. It's good to have a development, it's good to have a lot of shiny new buildings, but if you don't have tenants in those buildings to drive the economy, you end up in a vicious cycle. I'm born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. I can go on and on about urban planning and some of the downfalls there, but we're talking about a vision that's unique, a vision of development here in D.C. My team right now, myself and my partner on the team, right now we're 3 days away from closing the largest public-private venture in the nation on behalf of one of the Silicon Valley giants. Friday, hopefully, we'll close this deal, 1,000 acres development on federal leased land. Section 106, Section 111, historical properties that everyone's talking about here. So the proof is in the pudding. We have the team equipped to do that, and we can bring the tenants to the space. So it's more than just a vision, it's a proven track record.
Good evening, I'm Simone Sorg, principal of Sorg Architects. My firm has been in the District of Columbia for 30 years as a graduate of Howard University. I've done a lot of projects in both Ward 7 and Ward 8. Most recently, we completed the Anacostia Senior High School, which is a $70 million renovation of a historic building, which is really received well by both students, teachers, and parents, and the community. We've also done projects at MPD, a very beautiful little building in the garden, which is the auditorium and classroom training facility for MPD here in Ward 8 and Ward 7. We've done Parkside and Paradise projects long time ago, and they still survive and are very kept up very well. So our vision for, and also I've worked on St. Elizabeth, both East and West Campus. When Mayor Gray was head of DHS, I did all the studies for him on the West Campus for renovation of the main central building, etc. So I'm very familiar with this whole facility. Our idea for this project is can you go back to this?